Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome along to my 1,000 subscriber Q&A video. We're finally getting around to doing it. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys to get involved either on YouTube or on Twitter with your questions for what you want to know about myself. You guys have delivered, and I'm finally here to do the Q&A. Enough jibber jabbering, let's just get straight into it. First question. What's my anticipated bonus for working with you for the last couple of years on the channel? From Adam. To paraphrase Peter Griffin, the bonus is the website, my friend. That's your pay. Enjoy. Norwich City Central asks, what is your favourite thing about vlogging? It's got to be meeting new people. It's an incredible experience to be able to go around to different places and to have that kind of effect on a lot of people in terms of what they're watching. That for me is meeting new people, finding out about them, why they're involved in certain clubs, why they have affiliations with that particular team. That's got to be my favourite thing about vlogging, is getting to know other people within football who have the same amount of passion for the game as what I do. It's just really cool just to be able to hear their kind of story. So yeah, that's probably my favourite thing. Harry Loftus asks, what first attracted you to watching / following non-league football? Basically, Harry fell out of love with the game, to be honest. Been a season ticket holder at Norwich for, well, probably since about 5 or 6 years old, on and off. And yeah, just kind of fell out of love with the place, with the modern game, how it's been ruined. Just a lot of different factors really, and I started going along to watch a few Stowmarket games and just thought, well, I'll see what this is all about, and got hooked basically, and then started going around to other local clubs in the area, and I thought, do you know what, I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm gonna do this properly. So yeah, that's what first got me into it. Lewis Clements asks, why do you love vlogging non-league football, in brackets matchday experiences, and also what inspires / made you want to watch and vlog the football? First of all, in terms of why do I love vlogging it's a nice way of being able to document these for future generations to be able to watch non-league football, and it gives the people who are playing non-league football the platform to be able to go, do you know what, I've actually got somebody documenting this, and just to be able to show off to their mates. And I think it's really cool that somebody at this kind of level of the game is giving these guys an opportunity, and I feel quite honoured that I'm being able to do that, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, it's just the reason why I love it is because I get to share the game back with other people who wouldn't have been able to watch it otherwise. And I think it's just raising the profile of non-league football, and also what inspires has made you want to watch the vlog and football. It's just something that I've seen a couple of YouTubers do, and I thought, you know what, I'll give this a go, see if it's something I particularly enjoy. I think my channel was kind of stagnating with Football Manager content, and I wasn't particularly enjoying it, but I've now found what I'm interested in and what I enjoy doing, and it's made me realise how much I want to be involved in football on a full-time basis, and hopefully this is a springboard to something, doing something extra with it. So yeah, that's what inspired me. Ground Hopping Mick ask, what got you into vlogging? I covered a little bit in the other question, but yeah, I've been watching a guy called Ellis who does football vlogging, and it's very random. One week he could be watching Barnet, then the next week he could be watching Dereham, and then the next week he's watching Leeds or Porto or whatever the case. And his vlogs really were funny. They were they are really good vlogs. I really enjoy watching them, and I just thought, you know what, this is something I like watching it. Do I want to get involved in it? Do I want to start doing it? And yeah, really did appeal to me, and I thought, I'm going to give this a crack and see what happens. So yeah, that's how we got involved in it. Also, to you guys who aren't following Ground Hopping Mick, make sure you do on Twitter and especially Instagram. This guy, honestly, he's absolutely brilliant. He's absolutely class at what he does with non-league football, and he's getting into it as much as I am. He's an absolutely class guy. Chris White, congratulations on 1K subscribers. You guys rock. What is the quirkiest ground you have visited? First of all, Chris, thank you very much for the 1K message. That really does mean a lot. We've been working really hard last season to reach that goal, so thank you for that. What's the quirkiest ground I've ever visited? I'd probably say Yeovil. Yeovil was a very odd, but I really liked it ground. I really found it fascinating, with the one end completely open with no roof on it. The other end, where I was standing in with the Yeovil fans, where you're completely terrace standing, but then both sides along the pitch are fully seated out. It was just a very weird place, a very odd location, right on the outskirts of Yeovil, where it's a hell of a walk to try and get up there. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I quite, it's somewhere where I'd like to go potentially again. So yeah, I'd have to say Yeovil. Stowmarket United, would you ever consider to start doing a matchday experience for Sunday League teams? It's something I would look into if I'm being brutally honest with you at the moment, because Sundays are the only day I get with my wife, because we both work on a full-time basis. Sundays are a bit of our day, and I really, to be honest, unless she turned around to me and said, I'm not going to be around this Sunday, I'm going off and doing XYZ, and I decided to go and pick up a camera and go along to it. Sundays are a bit of a rarity, but I am going to try and do a couple of Sundays this season and see what kind of things I can do, because I really do want to come and watch Stowmarket United. You guys have been talking to me for ages on Twitter. It will happen, but I can't guarantee when. Michael Crofer, firstly, I'd like to say I really enjoy your matchday reports, especially your Stowmarket Town FC reports. How did you meet Adam? Also, a top bloke, in brackets, Saint Angreevesy. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Really, really do appreciate those comments. They're really, really nice. I really enjoy watching Stowmarket play, so it's always enjoyable to be able to comment on my own home team. How did I meet Adam? Well, I've known Adam for quite a long time, to be honest. I knew him through friends when we were growing up. I never really spoke to him, to be honest, but then one of my mates invited Adam to come up and play at five-a-side with us. We were really short on players one week, and one of my mates said, I know this guy from work. He brought along Adam, and then everyone went, oh yeah, I know Adam. Yeah, he's friends with da-da-da-da. And basically we've stayed in contact all the time. He was in a regular occurrence at the five-a-side, and he now lives very, very close to me. And basically our friendship's just kind of blossomed really over the last probably 2 or 3 years. Yeah, probably about 2 or 3 years. We both work in a very similar background, so we talk to each other a lot about our work and our various different experiences. And yeah, we've just become really, really good mates. I'd probably say he's one of my best friends. Yeah, no, and all joking aside, he's an absolutely top bloke. Yeah, but I'd met him at five-a-side. Norwich City Centre again asks, what do your family think about what you do on YouTube? To be honest, I don't really think a majority of my family know what YouTube is or what involved with it. The question I always get asked is, are you making any money from it? And as soon as the answer is no, well, why are you doing it then? They just don't. It's a very different world. Unless you're within the YouTube bubble, you don't really kind of get to know what YouTube's about. I think YouTube's got a very bad rep in the mainstream media. So I think it's one of those things that they know I do it. They know it's a hobby. They know I'm really, really passionate about it. And I think it's just one of those things. It's just like, oh well, this is just James being James. He's just mad about football. This is just another thing for him to be absolutely obsessed with. Because when I hone in on something, I am obsessed with it. If I decide to follow something or pay attention to something, I will go all in on it. So I have to get invested in what it is I'm doing. I can't do things half-hearted. So yeah, I don't really think they know a huge amount about it, but they were very, very chuffed when I reached the 1,000 subscriber mark. So that was cool to know. I think my dad watches a couple of the videos from time to time, and possibly my sister, but yeah, I think that's probably about it, to be honest. Alex Eggleton asks, SIL predictions for next season. Right, who do I think is going to win the senior division? I am going to go for Henley, purely because I think that Crane did very well last season, but I think even a couple of players have admitted that the squad is aging a little bit. And with Achilles, I think they're going through, I wouldn't say a transition, but again, they've had a few players already I can see going out already, and I think Henley can just keep a hold of that squad. I think, it's going to be a very, very tight league, the senior division. I think Old Newton are going to give a lot of teams a good run for their money. I'm really expecting big things from them, but I think it's going to be really, really tight in the top division this season, because I don't think we're going to have the Grunsborough and When Hastings situation that we had last season, where they were just the whipping boys. So I do worry about teams like Bramford this season, how they're going to cope, but because both Bilderson and Old Newton coming up are going to be very, very strong opposition. But that's a good thing for me, because it keeps it more interesting. I think it's definitely going to be a lot tighter. If you want to know some of my other predictions for the SIL divisions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll answer anything further. Kenny Kennedy asks, come on, James, predictions for the SIL title contenders and relegation battlers for the upcoming season. I mentioned just a moment ago, I think Old Newton are going to be right up there this season. I'm predicting them to do very, very well. I think Crane, Henley, and Achilles, Old Newton. I predict that Claydon are going to have another good season. Again, I think they did fantastically well last season to end up finishing in 4th. And then really, if anybody in that middle pack can kind of make some decent enough signings, I think any one of them can make a big push this season. It was very close at one point where 7 or 8 teams were in it at one stage, but just need to build on that momentum a little bit more. In terms of relegation, as I said, I'm kind of looking at it at the moment. I am worried about Leiston St Margaret's. I am worried for Brantford. I don't know how Bilderson are going to adapt. I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to pick up some decent results, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd probably say it's between those 3 and maybe Westerfield. But again, I don't know. You know, the bottom of the division has changed. The leagues change all the time because signings come in and out on a regular basis. So unless clubs keep me updated with who they're bringing in and out, I can only go by form of last season. So yeah, I'm going to go with those 4 teams to potentially struggle in the SIL Senior. What is the most difficult part of filming a matchday experience, and what advice would you give to others? Also, what do you enjoy most doing about it? From Drew Kendall. Drew, thank you very much for the questions, mate. First one, most difficult part about filming is concentration. For me, I do not want to miss a single moment of the game. So I don't mind people coming along with me, because having the extra support and advice when someone is with me is great. But when people are constantly talking when they're standing right next to me, that does infuriate me a little bit, because I'm purely because I'm so concentrated on the game, and I just don't want to miss a single thing. I remember going to the Newmarket game last season, the beginning of last season. I missed a goal. It was a 7-1 victory for Newmarket, but I missed the goal that the away team scored, and I was really, really angry at myself because I allowed other people around me who were having conversations with me to get me distracted. So yeah, that's probably the most difficult part. Advice I'd give to other people is just purely start it. Just start it, see what happens, build up your profile, and just crack on. If this is the kind of thing you want to be doing, but be unique. Be unique. Find something that you enjoy doing. Don't copy other people. I have been guilty of copying other people in terms of Football Manager content and the matchday stuff when I did it at the very beginning. But I've now found a rhythm of what I like doing and what I want to do. Just don't copy other people. Just don't copy other people is purely my one bit of advice. And also, what do you enjoy most about it? Again, we've mentioned it in another another question, but it is about meeting new people and finding out about their stories. Ben Moore, favourite ever SIL player and coach in your time watching? I wouldn't say I've had a favourite player so far. There've been a lot of players that I've enjoyed watching, but I wouldn't say there's been any favourite. It's only been one season. But in terms of favourite coach, I'd have to say Jonathan Warnock from Sporting 87. He just seems to have a command and a respect, and he seems to be running that club for Sporting 87 in such a fantastic way. And you can see that there's knowledge pouring out of that guy. And I wish I could. I've done a couple of interviews with him, and I'd love to interview him again next season, because just listening to him talk, he has such a good understanding of the game. So yeah, I'm probably going to go with Jonathan Warnock from Sporting 87. Josh Leggett asks, would you ever vlog any SIL games lower than Division 1? Yes, Josh, I would, and yes, I am going to this season. I think for me, that last season was a case of getting my foot in the door and finding out a little bit about the SIL for myself. I did a lot of research prior to the season kicking off, and there are other clubs that aren't just in the senior division and Division 1. There are a lot of good teams in this format, and I've been to Elms well in Division 3, and I've seen them a couple of times, but I do want to broaden my horizons, and especially with the way that the leagues have been formatted this season, 100% I will be going to some games lower than Division 1. Watch this space, Josh. Adam Wade, what's the one sport that you don't follow now that you would like to take an interest in? Well, I know he wants me to answer baseball to this, because when I go round there, he has a baseball subscription and it's just on in the background, but I just can't get into it. One sport I don't follow now that I would like to take an interest in. Beach volleyball. No, I'm only joking. I don't know. To be honest, I'm quite happy with the sports I've got at the moment. Obviously football, NFL, F1 are my three main sports at the moment. I probably, based on the fact that I've really been enjoying watching the World Cup cricket, I would probably say cricket, but I'm not one of those people that can sit there and watch a whole test game. I would prefer the 2020 and the 50 over formats, the one-day games. I really, really enjoy those. So yeah, I'd probably say cricket out of everything. Because I do have a basic understanding of most things. I do dip in and out of snooker, dip in and out of rugby, and tennis, but I'm only really there for the major events, really. Of the many SIL managers you've interviewed, which one would you most like to play for? PG1964. Cheers, mate. I really, really appreciate the question. Of the managers you've interviewed, I would probably have to go back again to St. Jonathan Warnock. He would probably be the one person, based on what he's done in the local game and how everyone raves and talks about him at Sporting 87. He would probably be the one that I'd really want to play for and probably run through brick walls for. He just seems like the kind of manager that would get you, raise your game a little bit and knows what he's talking about. Yeah. So again, it's a little bit predictable because I've already answered that kind of question. But yeah, I'm going to have to say Jonathan. Ty, Swanky Vlogs, favourite football team winning the FA Cup or the channel hits 10,000 subscribers tomorrow? Favourite team winning the FA Cup. 10,000 subscribers is not going to change my life dramatically. If you offered me 100,000 subscribers where I could quit my day job and make this my full-time job, I'd pick the 100,000 subscribers any day of the week. But for 10k, not worth it, my friend. I'm going to have Norwich winning the FA Cup. It's not going to happen, so who knows, maybe the 10k subscribers will happen. Stowe Town have asked, which of our new signings are you most looking forward to seeing in action? I would have to say Cowley. Obviously, I was very disappointed when he left. I thought he was an absolutely fantastic player. My mate who came along to a couple of games with me was, he thought he was absolutely unbelievable, and I have to agree with him. Yeah, I'd probably have to say Cowley. I'm really looking forward to seeing him back in action and seeing what he's capable of doing. Yeah, really excited about that one. Michael Crowfoot, again, you obviously have a very understanding and quality partner. My question is, what's the trade-off? 2 nights a week at the bingo, a monthly unlimited shopping expeditions, without any question of expenditure? Yes, I do have a very understanding and quality wife. She is absolutely incredible. In terms of trade-off, I think it comes back to what I said earlier. It's the Sundays. The Sundays are our day to go and do something together, whatever that may be, whether I was just chilling at home watching some DVDs or whether I was going out and doing stuff. Sundays are kind of our day together. We spend a lot of time obviously with each other at home. We're always in each other's company, so I don't really think there's kind of a trade-off, but I think she's just really, really happy to see me finally enjoying and doing something and having a passion about something, in my life in terms of work or hobby commitment. I used to play football a lot and that took up a lot of time. I was playing football 3 or 4 times a week. So to go from playing 3 or 4 times a week to just doing this maybe once or twice, I think she would take that because this means that she gets to spend more time with me. Yeah, she's incredible. And I can't do whatever I do in my life without her. She's amazing. PG asks again, how far would you travel to cover a game? So that's Guernsey, Whitley Bay maybe? Well, I've travelled to Luxembourg, so does that count? I'd travel anywhere that's kind of unique or interesting to go and see. I would be prepared to do it. It probably would be if I'm on holiday. I'd go and cover maybe a game or go and visit some locations based on whereabouts I was on holiday. But yeah, as I said, Luxembourg's the furthest I've been so far, so I'd consider that pretty well done. Drew Kendall, got another one for you. What's the best non-league ground you've visited so far? I'm going to have to say Needham Market, and I know it's only up the road from me, but the place just gets better and better every time I visit there. They're always making improvements. They're always, they're always striving to do the best things at the club. And it's really going to be interesting to see the major developments of what they've got done this season during the summer. The club went through a major overhaul, and the building work was going on throughout the whole season. And I can't wait to see what they've done. I'm probably, going to go with Needham. Here's a question. What's the best game you've ever recorded for the channel and why? That is from the Football that Glitters in Gold, and I'm guessing Adam wrote that because I certainly didn't. Best game I've ever recorded for the channel? For me, on a personal note, it was probably the game at Carrow Road, just because of what it meant for me, and in terms of just being there and being able to have that media access to the ground I've been going to as a child and all up my teenage years was absolutely incredible. But in terms of the best game I've covered, I'm gonna have to say the Bilderston 1 Old Newton 2 game. It was getting towards the end of the season and things was really starting to heat up between whether or not it would be Old Newton, Bilderston or Sporting going up to the senior division, and it was played at such a pace and such an energy, and I was really chuffed that both teams committed to that game. It got a little bit feisty in some areas of the game, but it was absolutely superb, and I saw 3 goals from it as well, which made it even better. The quality of the game was absolutely incredible. So yeah, Bilderston 1, Old Newton 2 was probably the best game I've recorded on the channel. And there it is, that wraps up the Q&A. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any more questions for me, leave them down in the comment section below and I will answer it. Or if you want me guys to do a part 2, leave a like on the video. If this one gets to 30 likes, we will do a part 2. That is my target for you guys. Get it to 30 likes and we'll do a part 2. As I said, if you've got any other questions that you want me to answer, leave them down in the comment section and I will get involved with you guys. Thank you very much if you did leave a comment. And if you've left a question, that really does mean a lot. I wanted to do one of these types of videos for such a long time and I wanted to wait for a perfect milestone and this just seemed it. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. A lot coming your way throughout the month of July. But until we see each other next time, as always on the channel, adios.